that the situations we have in terms of quality education, how are we assisting them from that point of view? Because remember, the financial situations, then there's the education situations, then there's the inequality situations. They come together and they create stress. The employee comes to work and they can't cope. It affects productivity. That again speaks to wellness on the SDG side of things. So let's not do things in isolation of the other. SDGs are a roadmap to say, by fixing one problem, you're addressing 5 other problems. And believe you me, we're doing a great job. Recruitment is doing a great job. SDG 8, we are doing a great job. Decent work, that is where we come in as recruitment, as HR, but we need to take it further. Trust me when I say we make an impact every single day. Once AI is done its situation, created the whole situation for you and gave you your top candidate, and you give that candidate a call, at that point in time, you're making an impact in that one person's life. At that point in time, that one person's life is going, that one decision you've made is going to impact the family. From the family, it goes to the community. From community, from just that one placement, somewhere in South Africa, there's going to be one person who's employed because there's now more economical power. Is that not the progress we want to see? So it's not about rushing things. It's about realizing the privilege you have in your position, understanding the influence you have in your position by just calling that one candidate and saying, congratulations, you have addressed inequalities, poverty, you have addressed quality education. What I'm trying to say is, let's just get to a point where you can utilize our privileges favorably so. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get to a point where when I use AI, I'm like, hi AI, please search marginalized communities. And AI comes back to say, sorry, there are no search results. That is a thing of the past. That is what I want us to get to. Not search marginalized and have gender-based violence victims, unemployed youth, LGBTQ community. No. So what I'm trying to say is, let us use the roadmap that was given to us. And we can only do that by partnering, collaborating. Because in the forefront of transformation lies partnerships. No man is an island. Therefore, we can collectively achieve the most. With that said, I'd like to leave you again with what I opened with to say. Let change not come because it's time for change, but let change come because it is time for the change that we want. Thank you very much.
We can be.
We must be the first generation
to end extreme poverty.
The generation
Most determined
to fight injustice
and inequalities.
The generation that saves the planet from climate change.
And this is how it will get done.
The global goals.
a 15-year plan
For everyone, everywhere.
with no one left behind.
Ah, that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, giving us hope and love. And yes, that would be a real dream come true. Imagine they don't exist anymore. That would be stunning. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, let's hope. But even though, what did Ursula say a bit earlier? Hope is not a company strategy. Yeah, unfortunately, we need to do something about it, don't we? So we're nearing the end. We've got one more discussion we need to get through, and this one is called Revolutionizing Retail, Managing Change with Employee-Centric digital transformation. So now I have great pleasure in welcoming my panelists who are very, very ready for this. Carol Magato, who's talent acquisition specialist and employer branding at ShopRite X. Shavona Lillekant, who is the global peace specialist, equity, diversity, and inclusion at Smollen. And then, of course, Ntabisenko Metsi, who's talent management director at PepsiCo. Please come on up, everyone.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Welcome. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Do you want me to sit here?
There we go. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for
You see,
having
we're
us.
still almost full, and it's the end of the day. I know. I bet you were thinking, oh gosh, we've got that last shift. No one's going to be here. Well, look, everybody's almost here. Do you ladies want some water? Can I organize us some of those lovely waters on the stage? You sure? Aren't you guys loving the packaging of this water that's on your table? Oh, Asseblief, please bring us 3 so we can have waters. I was hoping one of you would say yes, and I don't look
Okay,
like
bring
the
us
one
4,
who's
Leanne.
got-
Bring us 4.
Okay, bring us 4. Please, 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 4 waters. They look so good and so nice. This is a big one. All right, I'm really looking forward to hearing this. So,
Thank you.
ShopRite X, is that Shop?
So
What is ShopRite X?
is the innovation and technology hub of ShopRite Group of Companies. So we are the
Great.
guys that do 60/60, the 60/60 guys. That is ShopRite X.
These guys, you see.
Yeah.
Damn, that 66 is awesome.
Damn, that
It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. But anyway, let's talk about this. So, Carol, the challenges or opportunities are there at the moment in sort of prompting organizations to embark on a digital transformation journey?
Yeah, so I mean, can I have some water now that the water
You
is
see,
here?
but it's there.
Because it wasn't here.
Yeah, I'm
so
going to get
gonna
one
have a
too.
sip.
You see,
Can I
let's
pass
do
it to
this.
them?
Yeah, grab one, man. Come on.
There we go.
Thank you so much. Okay. Our Boxy water. Thank you, Boxy, for giving us box water. Love it.
So funny enough, now that we're talking about digital transformation, my panelists and I were laughing because we're all sitting here with notebooks and we've got this topic about digital transformation. So strange. So I think for us, in terms of just, and in any retailer, and I think my colleagues will agree with me, because of the rapidly evolving landscape, and a lot of companies are obviously moving into digital transformation, but making sure that we keep the employer-centric part of it. You know, you don't want to leave your employers out. As much as we all want to move into digital interviews, digital contracting and all these other stuff, you just want to make sure that when you're moving into that particular space, you take your employees with you, so you don't leave them behind in terms of, we're all now going digital. Like, I mean, we've got the omni-channels. I just mentioned 60/60. I think Massmart has OneCart as well. So a lot of companies obviously have this omni-channel thing, but we also need to also understand that as we're moving, so are our employees and the workforce that we have. So as much as we're moving into that, where we are looking at jobs for the future, where we are employing, when we are obviously, like now as we bring on people on board, we are making sure that the workforce that we're bringing in is obviously agile and lean, but also making sure that people understand that we're not leaving the human element out of the digital transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes and no. But how do you include them? I mean, are we losing jobs? And that's the one question we haven't touched on. So let me ask you, are we losing jobs?
I don't think we are not losing jobs. We are sort of like hiring for future fit jobs.
Okay.
So we get to a point, I'll give you an example. When you hire now, you're not going to just look at a product owner. So you look at a product owner who has another set of skills, so maybe an HR set of skill, or so let me give you an example. In our space, right, our product owners won't just be IT-based. So now a lot of the skills that we're bringing in we're combining skills. And in that, you always obviously need to have that sort of workforce. You need to have an agile workforce. You need to have people that are obviously adaptable to change, people that can, I mean, when you hire people, you come on, here's Leanne. Leanne has been doing broadcasting. But now Leanne can do HR. Leanne can be sitting here doing interviewing skills. And she will obviously be able to look and understand that in broadcasting, this is the type of skill that I'm looking at. So when we're combining careers or we're combining jobs, so it's not just one thing. So I don't really believe in the fact that we're losing jobs because we're moving into a digital space. I think more so now, we are actually advancing, and a lot of people are now taking on more skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And Tabi Singh, from PepsiCo side now, how can organizations prioritize employee experience and engagement during this whole digital transformation initiative that's happening?
Thanks, Leanne. And colleagues, I think it's important first to say that we cannot underplay or deprioritize the importance of change. Intentional change management during times of digital transformation, especially for our people, with a focus on the experience. I represent PepsiCo and the rest of my colleagues are in retail. You are our customers that are very important to us. And with all of us, the majority of our employees are blue-collar employees. And so with digital transformation, it is absolutely critical that we continue to understand, or rather have a human-centric approach to digital transformation and how it impacts our people. And so how we do it, Leanne, is we need to make sure that our people are included in absolutely as many, or rather considered in all the decisions that we make. So when we think about digital transformation and how we support our people, we consider two pieces. It needs to be human-centric, but it also needs to be inclusive. Being human-centric means that we are considering how our people are impacted, and not just the how they're impacted, but their well-being and whether they continue to be fulfilled. When we talk about inclusivity, we mean that they need to feel that they're heard, they need to know that the organization values them and that it respects them and what their priorities are. And so how we support them from a digital perspective is we ensure that whenever there's a digital, or rather actually any transformation that is taking place, first and foremost, it is critical to understand who is being impacted by this transformation. And so that means getting closer to our people, really assessing from a change perspective who our stakeholders are, and in this case it would be our employees. What is their readiness to move on this transformation journey from a digital perspective? What are their levels of literacy? What are their comfort levels? What infrastructure do they have? And really just make sure that it's not an approach that is top-down. It is inclusive by making sure that we also identify individuals that form part of a network, a change network, where we co-create the strategy in terms of how we will transform the organization together. So how you ensure that you create an employee-centric, or rather a people-centric digital transformation journey, is including your people in the journey, co-creating your transformation with them, ensuring that they are equipped with the skills to be able to participate in this journey. I think it's also important to highlight that it definitely is not an event. Quite often when we are taking, moving along this journey of digital transformation, the expectation is that our people will adopt really quickly. It is critical to know that that last mile of adoption, once we've introduced the digital solutions and they're implemented in the various parts of the organization, it is important that we continue to stay with our people and ensure that that last mile of adoption, of truly buying into the solution and seeing value from it, is taken care of. Last point I want to make is, if we're wanting to ensure our employees remain engaged during digital transformation journeys, we need to build a capability throughout the organization, which starts with our leaders. Our leaders need to be encouraging our people to be comfortable with change, to fully understand what change is taking place, how it impacts them. Quite often we experience change resistance to digital transformation because people feel that they may not have the skills. They feel that this might impact their employability. So it's critical that we demystify digital transformation and really help our people understand what it means and how it will actually create more opportunities for reskilling, for work that is pertaining to higher orders of thinking as opposed to what they may have been doing, and just highlighting those benefits.
Interesting. All right, Shivana, let's come to you now. And when we look at, again, challenges that the organizations are facing in maintaining employee engagement, because that's a big one as well. This transformation, digital, all of this is happening, but how do we include the employees in all of this?
Thanks, Leanne. I think it's a really good question, but The first thing I want to touch on is we've been speaking digital transformation this entire day.
Yeah.
It's been a buzzword, and I think it's essential for us to take away that it's so much more than that. It's a seismic shift. It changes the way we operate, and I'm sure everyone in this room can agree that the way you did business 10 years ago is not the way you do business now. The world has changed, and we have to change with it. The one thing, though, that we can take historically is that organizations that thrive to changes are those that manage their employee engagement and prioritized it. So if we look at the various industrial revolutions, from mechanization to automation, all of them focused on employees, empowering their employees through it, and that is where we had success. When we move into the fourth industrial revolution, and as we manage or navigate digital transformation change, they should change. We're human beings. We know what we know, and we're comfortable in the know. So employees are likely to be resistant to change because they may not know what is coming. It's important for us as organizations to create the why for them, to create a journey for them. So I think you also mentioned how fast change can be. It's not to rapidly impose change, but rather map out the journey with them in mind and take them on it so that they understand the why. Communication's another massive challenge that you would see with digital transformation. I mean, since COVID, there has been improvements with it. I mean, we've really jumped on the bandwagon of digital transformation. We've really got to use technology. I think workforces that were in office daily are now working from home. You're using digital tools to connect, and that has improved. It helps when you manage a workforce like ours, which is very geographically dispersed. However, with that, we've got to make sure during transformation, or during digital transformation rather, and our change management process, that we communicate every step of the way. Because the lack of communication is what causes uneasiness, is what causes employees to be uncomfortable. And with that communication, you've also got to address the skills gap. We have to consider the landscape that we're in. We're in South Africa. Not everyone will adopt it the same because not everyone has the same skill set. Someone in an urban area might find it a lot easier to adopt a new LMS that you introduce or a new platform. It might be a lot easier for them to understand a quick management guide that you put together, a one-pager. However, someone in a rural area who may not have used a smartphone before, and it is a reality, may find it a lot harder to adopt that. So it's how do you as an organization tailor your solutions for your people with them in mind to make them feel part of that journey? And then just the last one for me is maintaining your human-centric approach. I think it was mentioned here already. Preserving your culture through the change can be a challenge. You have got to make sure that you stay aligned to the mission of your organization. I can say it from experience with my organization. We've always said we exist to create growth for our people and transform lives.
Yeah.
Throughout every change management process, and we've gone through a myriad of digital tools that we've changed and that we've put into the trade and we've adopted. Through that, we've made sure that we do not change our approach, we do not change our mission, and we stay true to who we are. If you've got those things in mind, create the why, the journey, keep your employees top of mind, success is inevitable.
Yeah, it's incredible. And if there are any questions, please, you can start raising your hands now, and I'll, very quick. Okay. See, so now this we can take questions. The fireside chat is just exactly that. I was shouted at. I said, I had so many questions for the DDG. I said, I'm sorry, but we couldn't. But we can. So there's one here already, and we'll look out for others. But I want to use, I mean, Carol, I want you all sort of, I get excited because you said something which 10 years ago I never believed I'd be doing now. Never in a million years did I believe that I was not going to have to be like my mom and get a trolley and go shopping through all these grocery stores and buying things and shopping, and the bane of our existence of doing that. Some people still love it. I personally can't stand it, but that's me. So now I am online for everything. But I am that target market, which I think is growing bigger and bigger and bigger as the days go by. However, having said that, let's look at enhancing what you already have. Yeah. I mean, I can see that AI is a part of everything that you guys do. You are seeing what I like, what I don't like, what I buy, what I should buy, what I shouldn't buy. You're almost telling me what I need to do. And these are the kind of things from machine learning that are coming into it. So perhaps you can sort of give us the tools of the trade as to how you enhance the whole process in retail with AI and how you use it.
So I think to start off in terms of that, when obviously the omnichannels went on, we don't know what we don't know, right? And this is obviously a work in progress. So every day when you go onto online and you put something into the cart, because now we're obviously in this point where we are taking data and we obviously have to sort of modify the data to be like, okay, so Leanne today likes low-fat milk, and then tomorrow she bought some sort of yogurt. The point of obviously enhancing this is to also make sure that we don't lose the human element out of it, right? And the reason I'm saying this is obviously these tools obviously provide a deeper insight into our customer behavior. And that is why in any retailer in this country, you need to have that sort of digital transformation, right? And another thing with it is obviously because like I'm saying, we change on a daily basis. Digital transformation obviously gives us the opportunity to make data-driven decisions. And not just in terms of our customers, but also in our workforce as well. So we're able to see in terms of the skills gap or in terms of where things are lacking. So I'll give you an example, and I think one of my colleagues spoke about it. If we're talking about one of our blue-collar workers who is sitting in deep Limpopo, and then I'm talking about somebody who's sitting in Gauteng. Not all of us use a smartphone.
No.
So there's different channels that we now have to say, how do we then include everybody in this digital journey and also enhancing that experience? So I can be sending Leanne a message and she can go into an app and see what she needs to do. But then when you're speaking to somebody who's sitting in Limpopo, they don't have like a mobile phone, so they're gonna have to obviously use an SMS service. I think I was showing one of our colleagues, a message went out, and we have an app that we all go into, and then you can obviously read any company comms that come through on that. But once with the employees now, and obviously taking them on this digital journey, we have to make sure and say to them, as much as we're enhancing the communication, we're not losing that aspect to say to them, look, you can actually go into the SMS system. So there's an SMS way in terms of getting the information that we need. And somebody was speaking a lot about, we feel like we're all about surveys these days. But that's the only type of way that we can get the information and the data that we need. Yeah. So in going on this digital journey, just making sure that it's not all about AI, it's not all about VR, it's not all about, it's not all about the virtual realities, the actual realities, but making sure that people feel part of the process. And when people feel part of this digital transformation process, it enhances the experience for all of us.
Yeah.
If I may add to that,
Please.
I think that's such a good point. It's critical in our digital transformation journey that we think about solutions that will be adding value to the lives of our people. And so in meeting them where they are, we need to consider how can we leverage our digital platforms to help them access information quickly, to help them do their day-to-day using digital platforms which will make their lives faster. As an example, you've spoken about employees being able to access their information. Yeah. We've been on a journey over the past number of years, a digital journey with our people, and something as simple as ensuring our employees are able to access their payslips via their mobile devices. That also pulls them into this digital transformation journey, not for them to participate in PepsiCo's processes, but actually just in the global revolution. We have recently launched our own e-commerce store, which enables our employees to purchase PepsiCo products at Fit with digital tools. And then we take them on this journey, progressively adding more and more solutions that will make us achieve our objectives.
That's fantastic. I love that. I really do. Because that, at the end of the day, is not, you're kind of forcing it onto your employees, but it's a benefit of working for your company. That you have your own little private store and you get people into it, and we're living in this generation and we need to embrace it. That's the reality. I think that's great. So we did have a question over here. Have you got a mic yet? No mic. Okay, let's quickly get the microphone over here. They're coming.
Leanne, while she's waiting for a mic.
Yeah, please, comment.
We were saying survey fatigue, and I've heard the comment quite a few times around the room today. I think it's important to understand employees feel survey fatigue when you're not using the results. Yeah. That is the only time employees get discouraged from completing surveys. I do not think that we should undervalue them. They're a very important tool for us to get insights. And we're talking about change management, going on this journey. You've got to have continuous feedback on the journey to understand where you can improve. you would only get tired of completing these surveys or feel that they're worthless, if you are not seeing changes from it. And I'll give you a very practical example. Last year when we ran our engagement survey, there was a comment around uniforms in store. Again, like I said, very geographically dispersed workforce. We got a comment, picked up on it, we went in, we looked at the policy, we did a follow-up on it, did a few focus groups, and it was changed. And the employee thereafter came to us, because we didn't know who made the comment, it was anonymous, to say, you actually took my feedback, I appreciate it so much, now I understand. That is where you reduce survey fatigue, is if you can show that you are real about it and you are intentional about what you are asking, what you want to do with the data. It is not data to be reactive, it's proactive data. And if you can create solutions for your people, tailored solutions out of it, you will not have survey fatigue.
That's wonderful. I think that's a great thing. It's one way of getting feedback. But like you say, we need to be heard. You need to implement the things, not like, what's the point of filling this thing out? Nobody reads it anyway, and that's a big problem. Okay, question.
Thank you very much, Leanne. So hi panelists. Thank you for the conversation. My name is Melissa. Once more, I am not an HR practitioner. I am not a human capital. And that's why I'm throwing all of these questions, because for me, it's really takeaways. I'm taking you back to a very important question that Leanne raised around job losses. Because I think it's a very critical question that we tend to skim over when we're having these conversations. And you guys in this room are the guys who should be having that conversation. Because, okay, I'm in the comms, communication space, marketing, brand space, and we have to communicate what you are informing us. But what one finds is that there isn't depth in what we are getting. So it's a bit shaky. And I think it's something that we need to really get into around digital transformation and job losses and job creation or job recreation, or however you put it. Because one of the things that, how I understood digital transformation, really, it is about digital technology that is brought on basically to either create something new, or it is to change how we are doing things or processes, etc., to improve efficiencies or effectiveness. So the issue with that is that now we have to actually upskill people, because now there's a new way of doing things, a better way of doing things. And if people cannot change or adapt, then the likelihood of them surviving in their jobs then diminishes. And that's the reality of the conversation we need to have with our employees, that we're not taking away the job. It's just that because how we're doing the job changes, you now need a new skill set. And if you're not able to have that skill set, then it becomes challenging. And I'm raising this because I worked in a company where we did analog distribution of signals. I hope it's not very clear what that company was, but okay. Now, we had to then move from analog to digital. That was quite a process, because firstly, you have to change the skill set that you have. So you're still delivering services, but you're delivering them differently because the end point is different. So now you have to upskill people who've been doing the job for 20 years. And if they can't be upskilled, what do? They become redundant. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to now prepare your customers as well. And that's another issue that we also then need to deal with, that when our marketing guys go out, how do we then communicate with the customers? So what I wanted to really talk about was that we need to get into that conversation a bit deeper, and how do we actually bring that out to people, because we keep surprising people and then there are job losses and things like that. Then we spoke about change management and change communication. Now there's a huge issue around transparency, because nobody wants to touch this topic. The impact of work from home, I think someone spoke about it. And the reality of it, now I'm on a totally different topic, colleagues. The impact of working from home. We did not prepare our people for that. We did not. And when I look at, I'm not talking about giving them the tools, etc., etc. Lastly, that internal stakeholder engagement that needs to happen. So that's another process that I really felt that we need to talk about, because when changes are happening, we don't communicate it. When the user interface changes, I get a shock in my system. My brain is rewiring, and then I'm tired and I want to switch off. So how do we get people there? Sorry, I said a lot of things. Thank you.
I know, it's pent up. It's pent up from the previous discussion. She laid it all out. So I'm going to give it to the ladies, but can I try and answer one of the questions?
Sure.
I want to see how much I've learned here.
Okay.
So in one of the discussions, what was said, I hope that companies are doing it, that your employees need to be upskilled every single week that they're working. When you get a job, that job isn't your job for life. You got to change all the time, and you got to keep on learning. And that's the reality, is that, I mean, I think it was Ursula who gave us a whole bunch of figures as to how many hours we should be learning a week to stay current. And that is what you guys should be doing, is that you should be teaching and providing your staff with those skills so they can constantly upskill themselves to stay current. Okay, that's the one thing. The other thing is, and then you're going to carry on. As much as the digital, everything, I mean, let's talk about retail, because I think here we've got our retail experts here. Before there were deliveries, before there was 60/60 and Woolworths and all of those things, think of the guys, the delivery guys. Think of them. How many jobs have been delivering for those that are packing? It's almost a standalone job now.
No, it is.
I mean, it's a whole new division that you've created in anything. You cannot be running ShopRite and a Checker 60/60. You need new staff to run that. So you've created jobs through this incredible technology. What do you think, guys? Not bad, eh? What do you think? I learned. I've been listening. Okay, now you tell us the truth, because I'm relaying what you guys have said.
And just on what you said, and I think I mentioned this earlier, as much as we're all going into this digital transformation and everything's going online, we don't know what we don't know, right? And we must remember, especially in retail, we've got different generations of workforces. So we've got boomers, we've got Generation X, we've got the Zs now, right? And as much as we want people to learn every day, you need to take people on a journey, and which is what I'd like to believe a lot of organizations are doing. And especially when it comes to issues of reskilling or upskilling people. Anytime you introduce something, you need to start with a change champion. And you need to obviously start at the bottom up. And I'll give you an example. We don't expect, the boomers, I'm going to call them generation boomers, who don't want to be getting their pay slips on their phone. You have to take that into consideration, and you have to take the different generations that we currently have in our workforce in South Africa. I mean, you still have people who are at the ages of 64, 65 still working. I'm not expecting them to get onto the LMS system and then be able to pick up a course. But you then train a change champion in the organization to be able to go and give them this change. But people I like books, I like writing, you know? So people like face-to-face interaction. As much as everything is moving up onto the internet and everything's all in the cloud, when your order goes wrong, you want to pick up the phone and speak to somebody. You don't want to speak to Copilot. You don't want to speak to some bot. So as much as, and I think I'm answering your question if I'm not rambling, but if we get to a point where we can get the change champions who obviously get the buy-in of the stakeholders, as you said, and also of the employees and the employers, and then we are able to obviously say no one is left behind. And people, I will always say this, guys, remember, you don't know what you don't know. You probably didn't know that somebody had, I don't know, some sort of, I learned something new today about surveys and people being fatigued. You know what I mean? Every day we learn. And the only way that we can obviously now be adaptable and be ready for these jobs of the future is you learn on a daily, and once you learn, you implement, and you know that if there is some sort of journey that you're on and there's a change champion or some sort of champion, then you're able to say, look, this is what I learned today. The person then can go and take it to the next person.
Yeah, and if I may, Carol, I think it is important to know that we are quite intentional and thoughtful around the capabilities that we're building in organizations. So we look ahead. I think that's our job.
Yeah.
We need to ensure that we're building capabilities for our people to be fit for purpose today, but to also be future fit. So that means considering what are the skills that would be required in the place of work, in 2030 as an example. VUCA, that's probably a 20 or 25-year-old term. So as HR professionals, many of us knew that we need to start building change agility in organizations. And if you speak to most of the individuals in this room, they will be able to tell you These are the strategic capabilities that we're working on to ensure that our business is able to win in the market. But these are the future capabilities that we're working on, again, to ensure that our people are future fit. Digital dexterity is one of them. At a frontline level, we went on a big campaign about 3 years ago where we taught all our employees, we took them through computer literacy, because we knew that it's a future capability that's required. We now ensure that at each and every site, production site and distribution site, we have a number of computers. It's about 5 at a distribution site, but that enables our employees to access learning content, their pay slips, and other digital channels, or rather tools, through that. So I guess the question I'm answering is around, yes, COVID happened and all of a sudden the rug was pulled out from under us, but most organizations have been proactively considering the capabilities we need to be building for future fitness, and change agility has been one of them, and now we're focusing on digital literacy, or not even digital literacy, digital dexterity.
Okay, let's get a final word from you.
Thank you, Leanne.
Pleasure.
Just in the crux of her question was, you mentioned the most important conversation we're not having is the job losses. And you touched on it, Leanne, to say there's massive job creation through the digital transformation journey. And I think we tend to ignore that AI is not standalone. Everybody is jumping on the ChatGPT bandwagon. I mean, university students are using it. Everyone is using it. We fail to understand ChatGPT needed to be taught. Why is there bias in AI? It's because there's human intervention to create how the answers are given to you. It does not exist on its own. Will it in the next 10 to 20 years? It's a possibility, but then we will adapt with that as well. So what I'm trying to say is the human element is never going to be removed for the foreseeable future. Maybe it's something that might outlive us, but for the foreseeable future, we are here to stay. And like I said, AI is there to enhance, not replace for us. It's to make our lives easier. And from a job loss perspective, I do not think it is something to be overly concerned with, because if anything, if we are creating the right skills with the right people, they will be fit for purpose in those roles. It's just changing the roles and adapting with the world that is changing. Exactly like you mentioned, in COVID, it happened rapidly. We had to adapt. We had no choice. It was all of a sudden. Now we can systemically change it because we've got time to work on it.
Yeah, thank you. Ladies, I've got to leave it. I've stolen a lot more time than I should have, but what a pleasure. Love chatting to you. Carol, Shavona, and Ntabiseng, thank you very much for being our guests.
Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. All right. On small or smart recruitment marketing, leveraging data analytics for better candidate engagement. So it's the first time I'm saying your name, Jennifer, and I hope I get your surname right. So please come and shout at me if I get it wrong. I'm thinking it's Shavea, but I might be wrong. Is it right? Perfect. Yes. Business Development Executive at Africa Ikegai Institute.
Yes, where do you want me to sit?
Have a seat over there. Anywhere, wherever you're comfortable. That's great. Jennifer Shavaya, what is that? What's Shavaya?
Shavaya. It's my husband's surname.
That man. Oh, that
you
guy.
know, right?
Shavaya. Is it like would it be a Portuguese?
It's an African name.
Yeah, it would
so
be. Hey.
From Mozambique.
Only because from Mozambique. There we go. Because it is the language there is Portuguese. Because I know my very good friends have got Gouveia, but Shavaya is something different.
No, Shavaya is different, and you can have a more native way of saying it.
I'm sure you can. That's why I was putting that. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You know this.
Definitely.
So let's get into the conversation very quickly. So. The benefits of data analytics, what are they and what do they offer organizations?
Okay. So, well, let me tell you that you made my life quite difficult because after all those panels, I have nothing left to say. So, bear with me.
I made it easy.
Bear with me if I say nothing new or if I don't add that much value.
Not at all.
So I think it's important for us to revisit the title, Smart Marketing Recruitment.
Yeah.
And as HRs, we tend to think that recruitment is about the process, selection, attraction, and then all those psychometric tests, and then ensuring that this person is fit not only to the organization, but also to work with that line manager or with that team. And we end up getting lost in the process of selling the organization and ensuring that we are the choice, the employer of choice, especially in a moment that we are, that is a lot of scarce skills and a big fight for talent. And as HRs, we need to develop this marketeer perspective that is, okay, we have a product. The product is not the position, it's the company, it's the culture, it's the team. We want to convert people to join our tribe, our clan. How we do that? When we have different generations, we have baby boomers in the market, we have Generation Z, millennials, and then in between we have gamers, and we only have Lenovo or all those interesting tools to give to them, and respect the IT policies where we don't have much space to bring the different apps, the different softwares that this generation is using to deliver high quality work or job results with less pain. So how we do this? This is the biggest question that all HR, talent acquisition, and I would say HR marketing people would like to discover or to make it work. So it's all about going back to the company and understand what are our values. Yeah. Where are we? Where we are adding to. Okay, we have a position today, but we are recruiting for a company that will stay, that will long, that is sustainable, especially if you look at the SDG objectives. Yeah. And so we need to understand the moment of the organization and the future, and who we have with us, what are the lacking skills, what are the challenges, and after that, when we figured it out, we need to understand how people perceive us, especially our internal talent, how our talent perceive us. And there is no other way than by using communication and transforming it into data, and then analyzing that data and giving back, not only to the internal population, but also to the public. Remember, we want to retain the ones that we have, but we want to bring equal high talents in the market. So when we do this, we need to be able to be vulnerable as organizations. We need to be able to be transparent, and we need to be able to tell a story with the data that we produce. Let's look at our engagement surveys. Let's look at our candidate experience interviews. Let's look at our stay or retention interviews that we do to our best talent in the organization. Let's even look at our exit interviews. And after we combine all this information, we can not only feed the team, the employees, the community that is already in the business, but we can also go to the world and say, by the way, we are company X, we are organization X. And, well, X is a brand, so let me find another name, Y or T. And after that, we need to bring them with us to this journey. Remember, marketing is about identifying the product, creating the product, generating awareness, then building interest and engagement. That's where data comes also. After building this, you want then to be in the consideration of the client or customer as one of the solutions or the solution for them, the employer, the place where you can grow, the place where you can do meaningful job that will not only sponsor your lifestyle, but also make you valuable to the community, because this is what people are looking for. They are looking for purposeful type of works, they are looking for meaningful jobs, they want to build or to deliver an impact into this world. So when you have that, then you have the conversion, the retention, and the advocacy. So go back to the market and tell them that this is the company, this is our journey, and we need you. And that's when you then target the audience, because you identified what you need, what you are lacking, and you want to identify those superstars in the market. How you do that? CVs? LinkedIn? Okay, data, but my DNA, the saboteurs, because you want to understand which type of person you are bringing. You need to match the position to the profile, not to the skills, not to the education, not to the background, not to the experience, the companies that this person passed. But you want to identify who are the ones with sense of urgency. You want to understand who are the ones that definitely are catalyzers in the team. You want to understand who are the first followers, who are the leaders, wherever they are, even if they are not in high-ranked positions. And you want to bring them, but you also want to place them in the right place, in the right area, with the right leader, in the right team, where that skill, where that strength is missing. So that's why you need to do behavioral tests, you need to do values test, you need to do saboteur tests, because after you bring, you will never find a perfect fit person. So when you bring this person, you need to understand how this person will see their potential and their detractors operating, and how you, company, how you, organization, can support them. One of my biggest frustrations, and I believe it's a big frustration for anyone who goes into a recruitment process, and especially this young generation, is going there and feeling that you are being tested, and then they will decide your future. Like the stones will be thrown, and then you will get a letter confirming that you are being appointed or not. And this is frustrating, because it's a time-consuming process. So it is important then that when we go to the market and we say, by the way, we are company T, and we have this position, and this is our journey, this is our mission, and we want you to help us getting there, because we understand, we acknowledge that we are not yet there, and we need you. And by the way, this is what our employees are saying. Of course, you need to find a proper pool of advocates, internal advocates, that will tell great things, but they will also be honest. They will share what is not okay, giving those that are not in the company yet the opportunity to add value, to bring something. Because no one wants to work in a perfect company. What will you bring then? So when you get there, then you need to tell them, by the way, this process will take a week or 2 months, but during this journey, you will also learn. It's not only us knowing more about you. It's about you learning about our company. It's you learning about your skills, your strengths, because you will find out that a lot of baby boomers, millennials, Generation Z, all of them, they don't know what are their core values. They don't know what are their DNA, if they are the sharks, if they are the cats, the eagle, for those who know the MyDNA or other tests. And they don't know what are their strengths and how they can monetize their skills in the market, not only in a new company, but in the company that they already are. So when you have this information and when you sell this data to the public, you gather their attention. You grab their attention, and they are ready now to go with you in this journey, not only of them joining the organization, but also them helping the organization to thrive across the time and also across geographies, because this is what any company that wants to prevail, to sustain, and to grow has to do, to sustain the great results across time and across geographies. And data is critical for that. There is nothing that I said that can be done without data. But we need human beings to understand when to use it and when to allow algorithms to not only be predictive, but also be prescriptive, showing us what are the actionable tasks that we need to put in place to convert as much as possible scarce, talented, and high potential individuals to our organization.
Jennifer, you've done it.
Sorry.
No, it was the best conversation I've ever had. I mean, I told you, you're not allowed to ask questions. I didn't have to ask questions either. That was awesome. Jennifer, you added value. Don't believe me, you added a lot of value. Thank you very, very much for that. Jennifer, thank you. Thank you so much for being our final speaker for today and for imparting some wonderful, wonderful pearls of wisdom on us now. All right, I have to stand. It's not that easy. Oh my gosh, my knees, my ankles. Tomorrow I'm wearing flats. I'm warning you. I got a prize to give away. I do. Can I ask you to bring that for me? That envelope next, that's it. That's it. Because if I now got to walk downstairs, I am not getting back here. Okay, so here we go. This is that part. I warned you about it a bit earlier. Well, not a bit earlier, it was a good couple of hours ago, that we've got the competition announcement. So Mishka's book we're going to give it away, but remember, it is also available for sale at mishka.com. I'm going to make sure I've got the website right. So it's YAH, got it. It is written here, YAH.com. You can also order a copy there if you would like to. So I'd like to actually call Mishka on stage with me, if you don't mind, just to hand this over. Remember, it's a 1,000 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher, as well as a copy of her autobiography, Iron and Silk. So here we go. I don't know how we do it. How do we do it? Do I have the name? I got the name. Remember, this was an AI thing, hey? Yeah. So it's on here. It's on my, oh, there we go. There's your name. Okay. Sorry. You don't understand how sensitive this thing is. Every time I move it, it goes right. Let me give it to you. Come stand in the middle. Okay, and then I can at least. So the winner, can I just say something? You have the best legs. Seriously, this is not fair. What do you do to get legs like that? Yeah, you sort of don't sleep and wake up with them like that, do you? Oh, man, that's not... Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll be wearing pants, and I will be wearing flats tomorrow. I'm done. No, I had to. I just had to say it. You got to give people flowers while they're still alive and they know about it. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Mishka. So, our winner of the autobiography and 1,000 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher is... Oh, gosh, another name I hope I get right. Is it Veren Jacksbeard? Veren Jacksbeard? If your initials are VP? So I've got one name. I've got two names. I have got two names. So I've got Veren, who's not here. So do we... Oh, okay. What do you think? I got another winner. So we've got Simone Sprague. Simone? Listen here, man. Surely you got to be in the room to accept it. Who is that? Who's this? Veren! So quiet. Come. Congratulations, Veren. Well done. You're so quiet, like a little mouse. Haven't you? So did you faint and then sort of woke up and then came onto the stage? Well done. That's awesome. There we go. Do you get the book and the... No, one of each. Sweet, you get the money, man. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much. Okay, Veren. So are we going to leave the other one for tomorrow? So we'll give the other one tomorrow. Is it Simone? Sorry, I called you Simone. Simone? No, Simone. Okay, we'll leave it for tomorrow. Thank you. Not a human choice. Sprague, Simone, Sprague. Am I reading it completely wrong? Okay, you try and pronounce that. Where? There. Simone Sprague? Like Prague? Yeah, Sprague. Like the city Prague, but with an S in front of it. I mean, is it Sprague? Is it... I don't know. Simone Sprague. No. Simone, you're not here. Simon? Claire, we're done. No, Mishka. We'll give it away tomorrow. Oh, man, it's been such a fantastic day. I have learned so much. Did you see? You see how much I learned? Like a damn expert, I promise you. HR. I am moving into HR. Yeah, I am. Not really. But anyway, it's just, I'm just impressing you all. But I'll be back tomorrow to impress you with more. Tomorrow, bright and early, we've got another lovely start and a wonderful day. I am really looking forward to our lineup of speakers tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be here with you through it all. And then, of course, you've got your gala dinner and awards in the evening, and that's going to be fantastic. So have a wonderful evening. Let's perhaps maybe get onto the roads. I don't know where you're all staying, but peak hour traffic in Joburg is not a joke. Good luck. God bless you. And we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks, everybody.